Even the biggest of the dreams start with the smallest of the steps. We are scientists, adventure seekers, and a group of ordinary individuals who believe in the extraordinary. In a world of trending solo travel, we always travel together to the laser frequented places in Himalayas, finding comfort in one of the most uncomfortable terrains on earth. Mountains brought us together and gave us a lifelong dream. Being in the mountains, it's not an escape from our busy lives, it's a pilgrimage. An adversary, a teacher, and finally, a place to return to. Summer of 2019 brought us to Uttarakhand to cross Gupt Khal, only for the third time after its discovery, and this is our story. Our expedition started in the small and eluding village of Ghamsali. Following Amrit Ganga river upstream along the green and rocky trails, we entered the vast moraine fields and camped at Rataban East Glacier for the day. And now, our trajectory for the next 2 days would let us venture into the vast snow desert of Bankund. It's a glorious moment when the sun rises in the mountains, and nothing is more mesmerizing than that sight. With the snow reflecting the light all around and adding a new vigor in us. You can almost sense the photons impinging through the tent into your body and warming you up. Waking up is quite a long process in such places, as your body would have settled into a comfortable lull. A bit of sulking over the cold, senseless morning arguments, and we are good to come out of the tent.
काला कल बीच में नहीं सोएगा। कल बीच में नहीं है, कोई नंबर कुछ नहीं।
तुमने खुद बोला कि तुम साइड में सो।
मैं जब भी साइड में सोऊंगा।
अबे जब भी नहीं, तुमने स्टार्ट में बोला कि तुम्हें कल सोना। देख तू सो के जो उठा तुमने सही में बोला।
कल रात को बोला था सिर्फ।
नहीं तू अभी जो बोला वो बोलना।
अब की बात, आज की बात, चाय के साथ।
After having hot lemon tea and stuffing aloo parathas and dalia, it was time to march for the day. We packed up everything we got and erased all the traces of our imprint, careful not to leave any plastic shreds behind. These vast moraine fields are formed by debris carried along by glaciers from the east face of Rataban and south face of Nilgiri Peak.
Our goal for the day was to reach the Bankund lake base. The route was a normal glacial course consisting of a series of high rises and low drops all along, but still we ended up gaining a reasonable altitude of 300 meters.
We had 8 porters in our group. These porters carry 30 to 40 kgs of weights on their back. Now that I have been to Himalayas 3 years now, I'm not surprised on seeing them because I feel them to be superior to me. They wear this light basic clothing and seems to remain unbothered by chilling temperatures, rains, and yet they walk at such amazing pace. This vast piece of snow desert of Bankund is literally one of the many places with least human footprints. It has a very long history, and it was even mentioned in the books by Frank Smithy, the very first person to discover Gupt Khal, and even by great Indian mountaineer and explorer Harish Kapadia. Bankund Glacier is situated in the northwestern Garhwal. It lies on the south-facing slopes of the main Himalayan range. There are numerous small tributary glaciers that feed into the trunk glaciers, and that's what makes Bankund so vast. This includes 2 glaciers from the slope of Rataban and Nilgiri peaks in the south, 3 glaciers from the slope of Deoban peak in the west, and small hanging glaciers from the slope of Khagbusundi peak facing the north. In fact, Amrit Ganga river rises from the snout of the Bankund glacier.
Gupt Khal was discovered by Frank Smithy in 1933 when he was attempting summit of some major peaks in the Kamet range.
No human set foot on this pass for the next 26 years until 2010, when an Himalayan explorer named Ashutosh Misra along with his team successfully crossed this pass for the first time in the history. We have just now reached Bankund Glacier campsite. We reached the campsite before noon within a quick time of 3 hours. There were possibilities of landslides in the upper ridges of Bankund Lake, so we decided to camp below on one of the ridges.
The day was still young and we were still pumped up, so getting into the tent was not an option. We wandered around, soaking the horizon around us. After a sumptuous meal of kadi chawal, we decided to hike up the adjacent Bankund Lake, 100 meters higher than our campsite. We were at the top in an hour and witnessed the frozen Bankund Lake. Our guide, who was here 10 years ago, made note of the point that this was dry the last time he was here.
The evening was dedicated to playing cards and making merry of each other's youthful affairs. Discussing life, time slices of our own shared past from our college days. And also reminiscing the fact that a journey to Rupkund had turned this big for us.
The sun took upon his duty to rise again and set us on our course.
From Bankund Lake Base Camp, the back.
You want the shine onto my light. Did you feel all on our side?
The order of the day was to traverse the turn of Bankund Glacier adjacent to the Bidhan Icefall.
The icefall was in our view from our campsite, but it was only after a quick near horizontal walk that its colossal and monumental form dawned upon us. Icefalls are these permanent vertical structures that possess the frozen water from millions of years. Gravity has made them compact and transparent. It's only the fresh snow that makes them opaque. It was indeed a sight to behold for me. Everybody took a break to appreciate this magnificent creation of nature and also to rest their bags from the strain put on them. Snacking on the chocolate, I couldn't feel anything but blessed to have been there.
After a decent walk of an hour and a half, we reached a probable camping region. It is important that you find good ground for camping, as there is an inherent danger of avalanches around these peaks in the summertime.
Right now, we are at Bankund Bend campsite. We had a ascent of around 500 meters today. It was a tough walk today, but from today onwards difficulty starts because we have been walking on all the glaciers now, and from now onwards there won't be any glacier lakes, so we won't have access to water. What we have to do is to melt water and to melt ice and take water from there. It has direct consequence of kind of the foods that we are going to eat now. Till now we had all kind of veggies, roti and rice, but from now onwards it would be mostly ready to eat, and things like khichdi and Maggi, which we can cook very easily.
Our guide made a small recce to find a place with an easy source of water, but decided against it as it would have taken too long for the whole team to get there.
ये सिर्फ गांड की जगह पे कर रहा है ऊपर वाले चलो खड़े हो टर्न कर लेते हैं ये सिंपली टेक्निक.
And so, we camped at the bend for the day and started to level up the snow for putting up our tent in the most hilarious way one could imagine.
कर दिया मैं काफी मैं इसकी कड़ी निंदा करूंगा ना सुकून मिल रहा है गाना सुन के.
5 days into the expedition, our mind had attained a sense of relaxed emptiness, bereft of the constant flow of information that keeps us ticking in the city. There were a million thoughts that brushed through my mind, but I didn't feel stressed. It almost felt that I was cruising from one thought to another, like a kid leaping and bouncing in a jungle gym.